Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NBA, Saturday, March 30th. Only 3 games on the schedule today after a huge slate of games yesterday. Yesterday seemed to be opposite day. If it wasn't for player props, it would have been just a brutal day. But we ended up with a positive on the NBA side. Unfortunately, the Sweet 16 games decided to wipe all that out. Baseball, fantastic day yesterday. So let's get on with the NBA for March 30th and keep this NBA train rolling. So we're going to start off with Pelicans at the Celtics, 2:10 out here in Phoenix, so 5:10 Eastern. Celtics a 6-point favorite on the road, 223 roughly total, depending on what book you're looking at. Celtics minus 230 on the money line, Pelicans plus 190. Pelicans have been tough at home. The Brandon Ingram injury has allowed some other guys to play a little bit more, Trey Murphy being one of those. Pelicans have been playing pretty strong. They've had a couple blips. The Celtics, 2 games in a row against the Hawks. The Hawks just seem to have their number, as I think the Hawks have covered 3 out of 4 against them. The Celtics are on this long road trip type, and they just, I'm sure just dying to get back home. They've wrapped up the East. Don't know if there's a ton of urgency to win all of these games, as Milwaukee keeps losing as well, so makes it a little bit easier for them here. But the Celtics, if they're making threes, they're the best team in the league. They have the same issue that the Suns do, which they're bad in the fourth quarter. It tends to be a lot of hero or ISO ball in the fourth quarter. After the first half, though, they are amazing at passing the ball around and finding the open man. But for some reason, second half, that seems to all just dissipate. I'm not quite exactly sure. So one thing in this game, though, these are the number 1 and number 2 teams in covering first halves. So both teams tend to get on it pretty quick. Zion has picked up a lot of minutes since Ingram went out. It's awesome to watch Zion play when he's healthy. He's got a spring in his step. That guy his finishing moves around the hole. It's like Kyrie Irving, except in a much wider body, and a guy that can take a lot of hits in there. But a lot of people can get to the hole. Not many can finish. Zion is one of those guys that can finish, and it's not always a dunk. It's sometimes a crazy angle that he takes in order to finish off a shot, but fantastic to watch. Trey Murphy's been a little bit, I want to say maybe a little inconsistent. He's had some games where he's hit 10 threes, and sometimes you almost got to, here lately, you got to beg him to take a 3-point shot. The Celtics, when they're humming, Porzingis is a big offensive reason for that. He's been big in the first halves. So if you got first half point opportunities, it might be a really good spot for Porzingis. Second halves, they have not fed him the ball as much. Tatum and Brown tend to dominate the ball quite a bit more, a lot more dribbling. If they could just remind themselves of what they did in the first half and do that in the second half, I think they win an NBA championship. But I've just seen this for years now with the Celtics, even before adding Drew Holiday and Porzingis this season, where they just don't remember how to do that in the second half for some reason. So that being said, we are going to take the Pelicans today. We like them at home, especially getting the 6 points. So we'll run through the bets that we've got on this one here. We've got quite a few, so let's get started here. Pelicans plus 2.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6 for the game. We also like the over in this matchup, over 57.5 first quarter, over 114.5 first half, over 223 for the game. Zion 25 plus points. It is a little juicy at 25. If you want to go a little higher, don't blame you. But we like Zion at 25 and 30 points. We also like Zion 7 plus rebounds, Zion 6+ assists. Zion over 3.5 turnovers. He just turns the ball over a lot because he's always driving to the hole. If that man could develop a 15 to 25 to 20 foot shot, he's going to be just absolutely ridiculous. And then we've got Trey Murphy, 15+ points, 20+ points, 3+ threes, 4+ threes, 5+ threes, and over 24.5 par. The only reason we didn't take Zion's par is because if you add up his par bet, he's got to hit every category on the plus side. There's not 7 rebounds, 6 assists. So we'll just take those bets separately and play them that way. And then we also like Porzingis in this game, over 17.5 points, 20+ points, 2+ threes, 3+ threes. If they're going to keep putting Porzingis below 20 points, we're going to keep betting it. Now, are we going to miss some bets? Absolutely, but that's going to cash at probably a 65 to 75% clip. So let's go through this one more time for you on this Pelicans-Celtics game. Pelicans plus 2.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6 for the game. We like the over in this game as well. 57.5 first quarter, 114.5 first half, 223 for the game. Zion 25+ points, Zion 30+ points, Zion 7+ rebounds, Zion 6+ assists, Zion over 3.5 turnovers. We also like Trey Murphy in the matchup for the Pelicans. So Trey Murphy 15+ points, 20+ points, 3+ threes, 4+ threes, 5+ threes, and that was plus 480 on FanDuel, so sprinkle a little there. And Trey Murphy over 24.5 par. We also like Porzingis in this matchup. Porzingis over 17.5 points, 20+ points, 2+ threes, and 3+ threes. Now, Porzingis has been struggling from the three-point line. That's why the 2's available at only minus 150 on FanDuel. He's been shooting 25, 30% from 3. He was shooting closer to 40 earlier in the season, but he's had a little struggle from the 3 mark. He's just not getting huge wide open looks like on the trail fast break like he was before. But he can still make 3 threes, and he's going to jack up enough shots from out there in order to get those opportunities. So like that one as well. Next game up, game we don't really love, but we do like this one, and we like it enough to bet it. Grizzlies going to Orlando. Orlando coming off a back-to-back against the Clippers game last night. They shot the ball like absolute shit. But the Clippers play good defense, whatever, right? So Grizzlies getting 13 on the road, 206 total. I'll be honest with you, the Grizzlies are an absolute menace when it comes to covering when they are on the road. And Orlando has been struggling here shooting the ball. If they can shoot the 3-ball well, they can compete with the big boy teams, as they've got a lot of things going for them. They have a couple guys that can operate in the middle with Franz Wagner, and then also Paulo Banchero, the all-star. Wendell Carter's a decent piece on the inside. Unfortunately, he likes to shoot way too many three-pointers. Cole Anthony shot the ball well for him. Jalen Suggs has struggled here in the last few weeks. But they need 3-pointers in order to spread that defense out. Otherwise, it gets extremely compacted. Same thing for like the Pelicans game that we talked about before. Zion has nowhere to go in the middle if Murphy and CJ McCollum and those guys aren't hitting 3-pointers, because there's no reason to cover those guys, to roll out to those guys as much. So same type of thing here, but we like the Grizzlies in this matchup. Another bet that we're not betting it currently, but the under is not a bad play in this one either. But we are taking the Grizzlies plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 7.5 first half, plus 13 for the game. And then just Jalen Suggs props, and we're going under 12.5 points, under 1.5 threes. That was plus 162 on FanDuel earlier. He has been struggling from the 3-point line. Now, he has been hitting 2, but he's been having to take 8 shots to get there. Suggs under 19.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined if you're new to the show. And then Suggs over 1.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Grizzlies Magic game, Grizzlies plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 7.5 first half, plus 13 for the game. Jalen Suggs under 12.5 points, under 1.5 threes, under 19.5 par, over 1.5 turnovers. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be an appetizing game to watch. Like, it's not going to be eye candy to watch in that particular game. I think the game of the day is Pelicans Celtics, but another one that we do like quite a bit is Bucks Hawks. So Damian Lillard going to be out in this matchup. Just a FYI for everybody out there, Bucks are favored by 4 on the road in Atlanta, 223 total. This game tipped 4:40 Phoenix time, so 7:40 Eastern. It's the last game of the night for the NBA, and then they get into a big slate tomorrow. I'll be honest with you here. The Hawks have been kind of hot, but they've also got maybe guys that are going to be back. Lillard's going to be out, so how does that work for the Bucks? I mean, Giannis they've played a few games. Most of these games have went over this total, but both of them were earlier in the season before Doc Rivers got there. The one thing the Bucks still struggle with is closing out to the three-point shooters. The Hawks, what do they do really well? Shoot the three. DeJounte Murray has been fire. Bogey's been really good for the Hawks as well. The Bucks, obviously Giannis, Brook Lopez in the middle, playing, blocking shots, still one of the best shot blockers in the game. Bobby Portis, probably might win Sixth Man of the Year. He's had a fantastic run this season as well. Malik Beasley stepped up as a consistent three-point shooter for the Bucks. Kind of took over Connaughton's spot a little bit. Jay Crowder does what Jay Crowder does. He's one of the streakiest three-point shooters you'll ever find in the league. So we're not going to play a side here, but we do really like this total at 223. And we actually got it at 223.5. And we still like it there. I just think this game's going 240. So Bucks Hawks over 57.5 first quarter, over 115 first half, over 223.5 for the game. And then DeJounte Murray, 25 plus points. A little juicy, was minus 155 is his point total. I think over under a lot of spots is 26.5, but we'll take that 25 points, 30 plus points, 4 plus threes, 5 plus threes, 6 plus threes, over 40.5 par. And then we like Brook Lopez for 2 plus blocks. And then Giannis for over 3.5 turnovers. As the Hawks do cause some turnover problems, Clint Capella is another one to look at maybe for rebounds in this matchup. Giannis points I thought were a shade high. He hasn't scored more than 32 yet against the Hawks, but Lillard's, not playing, but a point total around 33.5. He looks still like he's hurt. I mean, he's not fully, I don't think, healthy and all the way back. So we're staying away from that one there on those. But, I didn't see a ton of value on some of the Bucks props, but not everything's out yet either, as we're cutting this about 9 plus hours ahead of time here. So let's go through what we have so far. Bucks Hawks over 57.5 first quarter, 115 first half, 223.5 for the game. DeJounte Murray, 25 plus points, 30 plus points, 4 plus threes, 5 plus threes, 6 plus threes. DeJounte Murray over 40.5 par. Brook Lopez 2 plus blocks, and Giannis over 3.5 turnovers. So all the bets we went through, everything, we'll give you the link in the comments section to our Google Sheets. This is our betting ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, and then also what book we placed them at. Then after everything, the results. So make sure you do check that out. You can look if you want to look at yesterday, if you want to look at 3 months ago, if you just want to see the quick synopsis for the full season. All of those are available, so make sure you check that out on there. And if you're interested in multiple sports, there's baseball going on right now. So we've got a bunch of baseball bets for today that we put out in an earlier episode. We've also got the Elite 8 bets for today. We'll also have another episode coming out tomorrow morning for the Elite 8 episodes, or the Elite 8 matchups there. So if you're into college basketball, if you're into golf, we've got quite a bit of golf going this weekend as well at the Houston Open. So we do a ton of different sports. That's why these Google Sheets are important. We've also got UFL football going on right now as well. So like if you like the UFL side, we've got a couple games for the weekend on that, as this is the inaugural weekend for the UFL. So all kinds of different stuff going on. Make sure you check that out in the Google Sheets and get all those down. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so we drop an episode of bets, you get those first. Makes life extremely simple. Once you hit the subscribe button, will show up in your subscriptions tab. And you see a little dot next to it, I should say, when a new episode of bets or something you haven't watched yet in that subscription tab. And if you want to make life even easier, turn notifications on for YouTube. You'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support, as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.